Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 30th, presented by Mercury. Let's check in with Lee Pitts on Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. We're going to talk Guntersville with Tom Ott, and then we're going to talk to Josh Herron about Logan Martin and Lay Lake as the Coosa River Team Trail kicks off at Logan Martin today. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 30th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to that fish catching fool on Weiss Lake. Lee Pitts. Lee, what's happening up there, Mr. King of Weiss Lake?
Man, things are looking good here on Weiss. It's the weather's finally cooperating with us a little bit. We got some sunshine out here. The winds have laid down, thank goodness, and the crappie are starting to move up in these shallow flats a little bit. You know, they're getting on these stumps and these brush piles, moving up in your 4, 5, 6 foot of water. So things are looking good. This week has been a pretty good week for catching a lot of short fish and plus some good keepers. But key colors this week in our Bobby Garland baits have been blue and chartreuse, some black chartreuse, and just Cajun cricket's been pretty good. So we're just dragging around out here. Weather's good, the fishing's good, so everything's good on Weiss Lake.
What about the bass bite on Weiss? What's going on there?
Largemouth are still a little finicky right now. They're trying to come off bed. There's still a few fish that are spawning, but the majority of them are just in that little post spawn kind of weird stage that they go through every year. But you'll have one day where they'll bite really good, and then the next day you'll see them and they're sitting up in there, won't do a whole lot. So we got about another week for the largemouth where they really start getting aggressive. Starting to get some spinnerbait bites. Still, most everybody's pitching plastics right now. A little bit of a topwater bite. Some guys are catching them on buzz baits, getting 2 or 3 bites a morning on a buzz bait. So things are picking up with the bass. The spotted bass are a little more active and aggressive than the largemouth are right now. So shaky head, little small 6 foot running crankbaits, catching some fish on those. So everything, like I said, it's getting that time of year where you can get out and enjoy yourself and get some sunshine and catch some fish.
So I'm assuming Neely Henry's kind of some of the same stuff. We're seeing some good fish coming out of there too, right?
Yeah, Neely, the dock bite has really gotten good on Neely right now. Everybody's shooting those docks. Docks 4, 6, 8 foot, especially down on the lower end. A lot of the guys, they're catching numbers, and it's really picking up with a crappie bite on the docks down at Neely.
And the bass bite's kind of moving into the grass, and you might still find that this could be a weird time where there's a bass spawn, a shad spawn, and a bluegill spawn going on at the same time. So look in the backs of the creeks there, and then they'll start to filter out to the grass too. Lee, man, as always, we appreciate everything, and we will talk to you again next week and keep slinging them crappie.
All right, guys. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 30th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to that big old lake on top of that mountain. All that current, all that grass, all them big bass with Tom Ott. Tom, what's happening on Guntersville?
Well, as Lee said, we're definitely in that little post-spawn funk. Looking to catch a lot of fish last week, and it just was really hit or miss. I mean, these fish are just still, moving around, locked on beds, moving here and there. It was really a strange kind of week where, we were catching fish just in real specific areas, and it seemed like the bite window was extremely small. So we'd catch a lot of fish really quick, and then it would just go hours and hours with just absolutely nothing but 6 to 8 inch fish, which are everywhere. But it was a really odd deal, though. We saw a lot of big shad swimming, following your baits, knocking your bait around, and very few bites. So I anticipate that coming on. But, like you said, we got shad spawn, we got the bass spawn, we've got brim there's brim everywhere shallow. I've yet to really see a big group of beds yet, but I mean, that's coming. I mean, that's just just right around the corner. So, I mean, things are definitely happening. I wouldn't get discouraged on the bass bite. It's just been a little tough right now. That's going to change, I'm sure. it's about time to throw those bull shads and pop-Rs and things like that really shallow and catch some of those big post-spawn fish.
Well, there you go. Just throw water on my fire there. I get you all primed for big fish, and you start talking about that. Anyway, so when people get out there, how would you cope? What kind of things would you do?
Well, I mean, whack jig is really hard to beat, especially if it's slick. Anything plastic, small worms we've been seeing, D-bombs, reaction innovation, a sweet beaver, that kind of thing are really catching a lot of fish. It's just, I tell you, the catfish are spawning. We've been catching a lot of catfish really shallow, and that's always a jolt to the system, I guess. But there's just you just got to really move around there. We found it extremely difficult. Give you an example, we had 23 fish. We had 8 keepers for a total of about 15 pounds. That was slightly below average, but still, 23 pounds winning the tournament. So, just a solid limit with one big fish will really get you there. So, but it is a little tough right now.
Look for some shad spawn early. That would probably be the key, and then pick and choose the rest of the day and see if you can put something together is what I'm hearing. Tom, thanks for everything, and we appreciate it. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 5th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to check in with Josh Heron and talk Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Josh, Coosa River team trails there this morning. What do you think that's going to happen down there?
Man, water's about a foot low. So we're actually getting kind of up into that water springtime full pool level. And generally, that's a really good time of the year. We get a lot of growth on the banks during the wintertime when Logan's at winter pool. And it seems like when the water finally touches all that fresh grass, those fish really rush the banks. And it can get pretty fun pretty quick. Lays still lay. It's still about its mediocre self as it's been all year. It really hadn't fired extremely well, but it's getting a little bit better. Fish are going to be concentrated pretty shallow right now. We're looking for a shad spawn any day, which is a glorious time of the year on the Coosa River if you can land on one. But you're fixing to get a smorgasbord of stuff really going on. You're going to have a shad spawn, bluegill are going to be spawning. You're still going to have a few late bedders, and if everything goes right and Mother Nature continues to rain her wrath down on us, we'll probably have a mayfly hatch all at the same time.
That would bring everything together all at once. Wonder if a bass will even look at a bait. What kind of ways would you suggest that people go after that shad spawn to start the morning and then carry on through the rest of the day?
Spinner baits are going to be really good. Chatter baits, spooks, pop-Rs, splash hits, yellow magics, Ricos, stuff like that. Any of those little shad style imitating baits, it's more cadence speed. I think it is shape. So you just need to figure out kind of like what cadence those fish really like. And some days they get really big on a spinner bait where it's kind of a burn, stop. And other days they want a really slow moving like spook, vixen, any of those walk the dog style baits. And then conversely, if you kind of get mixed in with bluegill and all that going on too, that's when they'll get on like a splash at a P70, a Rico, any of those kind of little top or chugging baits. And you can also kind of mix in like a baby head and torpedo, which is a pretty cool bait from blast from the past.
Those are good ones. I've caught many a fish on those. Is an afternoon going to be a shaky head deal, or you just kind of going to want to stay in the shallows and do that?
Shaky head will still do good. We've got so many fish now that have already spawned that you're going to have a lot of those fish in that 6 to 8 foot kind of pulling out. They're going to still be staging. They're not going to be all the way out right now. And they're going to hang around till the shad spawns over. But that 6 to 8 foot deal in the afternoons is kind of just a consistency thing.
Well, Josh, as always, we appreciate everything, and we will talk to you again soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 30th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to the guys for everything that they do every week to help put us on a few more fish. And don't forget, come on, see us at Bucks Island. We've got the loft with Colin and Jamie upstairs. Get all the tackle that you need. Parts with Pat and the guys. And then you can check in with Angela and Service if you need something repaired. And then don't forget to talk to Patrick, Melissa, and Katie to help you find the boat of your dreams. Thanks for being the best part of Bucks Island, and we will talk to you again next week.